Hello and welcome to a little bit of a sneak preview of some of the configuration options we have in the Galaxy range of AI voice packs from HCS VoicePacks, and how we're actually going to manage some of the more interesting commands when you're out there in combat. There are other videos coming which show you how to use the in-combat commands to actually fire things and manage your power allocations. But for this little snippet here, what we're going to do is take a quick look at how the voice pack manages your configuration. One of the great things about what we've been able to create is that it can now read your key bindings in. So when you fire up the game, when you fire up VoiceAttack, when you select the Galaxy voice pack, it will go and read your key bindings and load in everything that you've set up, whether it be default or you've changed it to suit you a little bit better. So that's one of the things we've been working on for the last 3 to 4 days. Unfortunately, one thing we can't work on is working out what ship you're currently in, whether you're in an X-Wing or a TIE fighter or a TIE bomber, and also what loadout you've got currently on your ship. So we have put together the manual, which I'm going to pop up on screen here. We're working through this, testing everything, but this is a first sneak preview of the manual itself. Lovely starry background, bit of an introduction into these sections. You can see we've got our quick start guide, so you can hop straight in. We then, the very first item is default settings and important settings changes, and then selecting and customizing your ship. When you jump into the game, you might want to be flying a TIE fighter, you might be doing a capital ship assault in a TIE bomber, and we need the voice pack to respond appropriately. So if we scroll down to those sections in the manual, skip the quick start guide, you can have a quick look at that later when we do release it. So it says on the default settings, when your Galaxy pack starts in VoiceAttack, the default loadout works with the TIE Fighter, X-Wing, TIE Interceptor and A-Wing. There's a good reason for this, because these all have exactly the same thing installed on the left and right loadout. You've got repair on the left-hand side, and you've got missiles on the right-hand side. They might be slightly different missiles, but they're still missiles. So your left auxiliary repair, your right auxiliary missiles. The most important note we've got on screen here: if you change ships, don't forget to tell your AI through the customizer or with your voice. I'm not going to show off the customizer at the moment. We're still working on that and finalizing it, but you can actually change all these things just using your voice. Right, scrolling down then. Selecting and customizing your ship. There are a lot of ships. Yes, there are 8 ships. That's why we need you to tell your voice assistant what we're flying and what weapon loadouts are fitted to the left and right auxiliary. Okay, well, said that already. You can, through this instruction manual, see how to get into the customizer itself. So you can fire up the customizer, you can click on the ship that you want, you can select from a drop down which of the auxiliaries you have installed. But we've gone one stage further. We don't really want you to be hopping out of the game just to make those changes. You might be between missions and you've only got a few seconds as your wing gets back into the next round of combat. So it says, if you're further on in game or indeed multiplayer mode, you can change the ship in the customizer to yours or use a voice command. And it says in the voice command here, standard X-Wing loadout.
Weapons changed.
And you'll hear that the voice pack is actually changing your loadout. By standard, this is the default that the ship comes with when you first select it. So let's try on the screen. I'm going to hide the manual. We're going to go to the customization option here, and I've managed to earn enough points that I can change a few things. Some wonderful views on this screen. Actually, you can go and inspect your ship from all sorts of angles. You can go behind it. You can even go up on the gantry and have a look at your ship. Or you can exit and you can go back and click Customize Starfighter. And you see in here, you've got your T-65B X-Wing Fighter Loadout 1. Okay, so we are going to go to Edit the Loadout. Now, it's on Loadout 1 because I played with it. I've got a repair droid on the left and I've actually got rockets on the right. So I'm loaded this up just so we can test it. If I was to say now, fire missiles.
Fire missiles.
It would try and launch missiles because I've told it that we have a standard loadout, which is repair and missiles. But we don't have repair missiles. We need to change that. It wouldn't actually work. It would try and fire rockets. So, in the manual, which we're going to call up here, we'll scroll down, and it tells us a few commands here. It says we can use a simple voice command to tell it what's on left and what's on right. I can see I've now got rockets installed on my right hand side. Let's just go back to my edit loadout. You can see here I've got my rockets. Rockets on right.
When you have to shoot, shoot. Don't talk.
And then we can see that we've got repair on the left. It is already set, but I can say repair on left.
Do you feel lucky, punk?
Oh yes, I do feel lucky. That's now fully configured. So if I say fire missiles,
Not an option.
it now tells me it's not an option. Fire missiles does not exist on this X-Wing Starfighter because I've got rockets on my right auxiliary. And on my left I've got my repair droid. Just to see that in action, we are going to select that and go back, and we're going to exit the hangar. Let's close the instructions here. And go to the multiplayer and go to the practice menu. I want to select New Republic, and I'm going to hit start practice. And what we're going to do is have a little go with this, and then we're going to change a loadout. So, customize your ships. Let's just double check. This is loadout 1, which has rockets on right and repair
Someone
droid
ever
on left.
tries to kill you, you try to kill him right back.
He actually listened to me there. Yes, I did say rockets on right. Right, let's select that loadout. Go back. Go back. And it says you can hit space to select for launch. Or you can hit the B to launch and practice. But I can use my voice here. Ready for launch.
Taking off.
And it takes us ready for liftoff. Now, in the practice sessions, obviously, you're floating in free space with nothing particularly scary going on. Just to prove a point, I can now try and say, fire missiles. Fire missiles.
Not possible at this time.
It isn't possible at this time because I don't have missiles. But if let's move a little bit closer to one of these things here so we can see it. Fire rockets.
All right then.
Fire rockets.
All right then.
And of course on my left hand side I've got the other item, so just to check that one. Activate repair.
Many systems are damaged. Attempting repairs.
Right, so let's go back now and decide I want to change the ship that I'm flying. So I'm going to go to the Imperial hangar here. I seem to be on a TIE bomber here, so let's switch. And we're going to go to the TIE fighter. Go to edit loadout. And you can see here on the left is repair and on the right is concussion missile. Let's see what other options I have. I've got rockets on this one. I've got a torpedo. So I've selected the torpedo. Torpedo on right.
Weapon changed.
And I'm going to put the missile. Missile on left.
It sounds cool.
It is cool. And we're going to head back out into the game. Ready for launch.
Take off.
I will. And here we go. Okay, let's do the same test again. Let's find that harmless piece of scenery. Fire missile.
Fire missiles.
Right. He said fire missiles. He didn't actually fire a missile because I don't have a lock. But if I spawn a couple of enemies, and I'm going to see whether I can manage this one. Let's just pick an enemy corvette. Select next enemy.
Next hostile.
Okay, he selected it for me. Fly towards him a little bit, and let's just hope we don't die before this test works, otherwise I'll be showing it to you again. Fire torpedo.
Sending.
Fire missile.
Firing missile.
There we go. And you can see he actually fired the right things as soon as I got lock. We have configured it also so that you can activate your dumb fires too. But if I try now and say activate repair,
That's not an option.
it knows that I don't have repairs activated on this ship, and it is that straightforward. So you can switch to the standard loadout if you're just using the repairs and missiles on these ships, or you can configure it as you need. I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea of how we're dealing with the configurations. I'm going to head back to the hangar now. Go back to the New Republic hangar. And customize my ship. Let's go to a U-wing. Show the loadout at the moment. So this at the moment has a squadron mask and tactical shield. Let's see if these are going to work. Squadron mask on left.
Do you feel lucky, punk?
Tactical shield on right.
Weapon changed.
Thank you very much. Or maybe I should just say, thank you. I've got a bad feeling about this.
It's an emotional moment.
It certainly is. It certainly is. But yeah, you can go through any other loadouts you like. So let's go over to the A-wing here. And this is a standard loadout. So I cannot say repair on left,
Weapon changed.
missile on right,
Weapons changed.
or I could say something as easy as switching to standard A-wing loadout.
When you have to shoot, shoot. Don't talk.
And we're ready to go. Anyway, another sneak peek at the manual for you before we go. So that's the range of things you can choose on your left and right hand side. Bonus points for anybody who can spot the one I haven't written in the manual just yet. Power management and shields. You've got all these additional commands to say power to engines,
Transferring power to engines.
power to weapons.
Transferring power to weapons.
And of course the additional ways to focus your shield to the front and rear and power boost your engines if you're in the unshielded ships. Obviously the entire targeting computer is in there. Target next ally.
Cycle friendlies.
They're on May 6.
Locking on.
And here are all the various fire commands that go with those configurations that we put in earlier. Of course, the other thing you can yell is countermeasures,
Deploying countermeasures.
just in case somebody's shooting missiles at you. Anyway, loads more commands, including some of the chit-chat and some coming soon. We're not going to reveal everything just now, but that's your lot from the manual and from the Sneaking Configurator preview. And next time we're hoping to be able to show you the actual configurator where you can click buttons instead of using your voice. I'm a fan of using my voice. Some people quite like using the push button configurator. And that's all for now. Thank you very much.